this point, I'm trying to get my master's. If you're running in the hall, glance up. Vance McGee and his retard 3 are running down the hall, bursting into classrooms and waving to teachers.
I see you gather before them. Hungry, terrified, clutching your babes to your breasts. Emperor Emir has marched his legions into our lands, laid siege to every fortress from here to the Blue Mountains. Rabid and ravenous, he bites and bites away. Men of the North, you stand at the precipice. Your kings have failed you, so now you turn to the gods. And yet you do not plead. You do not kneel to dust your heads with ash. Instead you wail, why have the gods forsaken us? We must look into the trials we failed long ago. In a time past, our world intertwined with another through an upheaval scholars call the conjunction of the spheres. The gods allowed unholy forces to slip into our domain. The offspring of that cataclysm was the nefarious force called magic. Yet we did not banish it, instead studying the vile arcane for our own power and wealth. And the monsters at our door, the unholy relics of this conjunction. The trolls, the corpse eaters, the werewolves. Did we raise our swords against them? Or have we laid this burden on others? On so-called witches. Stray children taught the ways of foul sorcery, their bodies mutated through blasphemous ritual. Sent to fight monsters, though they could not distinguish good from evil.
Second time this semester, and after one of you have been fired because of it, learn to do your job. Chuck, that's it. Friends follow. Walk back to classroom, but not before.
But a few still roam our lands, offering their bloody work for coin. To this day they shame us with their very existence. The North bleeds, flogged by war. The battles are the gods' whip, chastisement for our sins. And let us not forget the terrors, the scourges from beyond our world. The wild hunt rides the sky with every full moon. The Dark Raiders abduct our children into lands unknown. Some say they herald a second conjunction. Can we chart a course back into the light? Will we find the strength to banish the mages from our kingdoms? Unite around the warmth of the eternal fire. Nigh is the time of the sword and axe. None will fight this war in our stead. Nigh is the time of madness and disdain.
Starts running away from the Tard Guard. Tard Guard begins pursuit. Vance runs up to teachers and hits the top, hurls his confused at Tard Guard. Tard Guard is paying and now grabbing shit up in the Vance is shooting and snake. People running while raiding the massive money. Spins in, Tard Guard gets close.
Nerd. Gained retard 3. Slide always doing movies. The old boy habits of making mayor named Piston Horse Jizz.
Is clearly pleased by my friendliness towards the Tards. Choose to accept brownie points for help my heart.
Hair on my face raised the idea I'm being friendly.
The three are still staring. One is drooling, and it's starting to
cool my book. Stop that.
Fats is screeching in my ear. Life starts flashing
before my eyes.
Baseball player walks up,
Go,
starts
making
making
loud noises, telling the retards to go the fuck away.
I become best friends
Into a pair of mine. Ray. And later.
Begin plotting my revenge. Notice there's shit stains on the creature next to me. Fats reading his program. Resume. The second semester is softening. There have been many hundreds of these unpleasant scenes, but nothing that would be much more repeat has been dealing with Fats making shit now. He and Ray, who was a senior, have become steadfast allies against the Tard menace. I discovered that I'm going to have to cancel practice the week before a big game because of a disco-themed prom in the Tard Empire. Begin plotting with Ray. Ray finds Matt's friends alone at some point. Gives Matt's friends $15 to normal prom, with his dick out and start rubbing Fats with it. Ray convinces me to go to prom. He's being a peer buddy.
The dark bench.
Sitting with me bored and irritated at Ray. Suddenly, one of the retard three whips out his dick and starts rubbing it against Fats. Fats panics and starts screeching. The retard is up on his eye. He didn't. Oh my god, I totally did, Coach. Suddenly, Fats goes into rage mode, final form. Fats whips out his own show-like Tard penis and starts doodling his friend, screaming at Tard rage. The Tard friend has no idea. Fats suddenly grabs his Tard friend and hurls him into a big plastic pillar they set up for pictures. The boat falls, nearly crushing the Tard guard. All hell breaks loose. Fats has removed his pants completely and is waving his dick around, pissing on everything. The retard three have all started cock-doodling. I'm staring, awestruck at what Ray has wrought. Fats looks at me.
The burning sun and night.
This is the end here. Fats slams into me at full retard speed and starts screaming in my face. Ray pulls him off, but gets in trouble later for attacking the kid because of ultimate mother bitch mode. I stand, covered in Tard urine and shit. Will shower forever when I get home. I think at that point, Fats realized how bad he fucked up, because he just started crying. Thus, the beginning of the end had arrived. I was forced to remove Ray from the team because of the prom incident, but we're still fast friends even after he graduates. I'm entering my third year of teaching, and Fats is junior. It's taken all summer, but I finally figured out my plan. I can't get damaged in school, or they'd find a way to blame me for the school. I have to find a way to get Fats to damage me outside of school. I know for a fact Fats is turning 18 soon because he was held back a year in middle school. So I could get him tried as an adult. I use a cookie to befriend one of his retard three and now have a spy in the base. I learned that Fats' birthday is March 31st, the second semester of his junior year. Excellent. While I plan, I continue being a good teacher and am close to getting my PhD.
Later then.
One day, after moving to a new classroom, Fats begins to fade from my mind because I'm not so close to him. Then it happens. Finally, March rolls around. April 1st comes. It is time. I start learning Fats' pattern, what he does for fun. It turns out Fats is an avid fan of movies and loves going to the cinema. Finally, I use my spy to learn when Fats is going to be at a movie. I drive to the theater and spot Fats in line. It's time. I prepare myself before walking towards the movie. I don't let him see me until we're in the concession line. Just my luck. They made fresh popcorn and he had a bucket. This is going to hurt really fucking bad, but it'll be worth it. Fats turns around, mouth found you fuck nugget. Fats starts screaming. Sing me to my sleep, B. Incoming final boss battle. Stare down Fats. Fats starts freaking the fuck out and shit.
Master.
Mother turns towards me, eyes widened as she recognizes me. Just grin. Fats suddenly throws the steaming popcorn at me and lunges on me. I'm getting wailed on by a retard. Security suddenly comes and yanks him off. Spot one security guard that looks familiar. Holy shit, it's Ray. Police are called because I'm bleeding. I press charges. His mother rages and says I provoked him. Teachers from school testify that Fats was always incredibly aggressive and rage-filled. Every incident he ever caused is brought into it. Fats is found guilty as an adult of 4th-degree assault and is given 9 months in jail, plus a $5,000 fine. I walk out of the courthouse, staring at the clouds. It is finished. No matter what happens, no matter how old I get, I'll never forget Fats McGee and his retard 3. And if you ever plan on tarting it up in my school, just remember who stands between you and chaos. And my little pouch, and thus ends the tale of Fats McGee.
What did you run away for? For selling out knowledge that would otherwise help others. Selling it to our enemies for personal gain. That's treason. I know. That's why I put him in prison.
Be in 5th grade. Be in AI class. It's like
I was somehow hoping you would let it go, but
the teachers decided it's a good idea for us to spend a day with the Tard kids because we were ahead of schedule for the marking period.
The more he hangs on to
I had
hate
never seen
and
Tard
anger,
previous to this encounter, so
the more
I
it will
did not know
poison
what to
him.
expect. Walk into the Tard HQ.
I should
It
know.
seems to be a regular classroom filled with ugly-ass kids. Everybody gets assigned their own personal Tard to talk to. I get assigned Neil.
Yes, you said
I
you
walk up to the Tard and say, "Hello, I'm Phil."
You did.
One fluent word, "Hey, Phil." He says this whenever he is within 30 feet of me. And it becomes my only warning of the inevitable oncoming
Yeah,
shitstorm.
prison up on the hill.
Sit down and see he is cutting
They're
paper.
not too
Ask him what he's making.
dark
Please. What? Tard starts to make the screeching
I
sound.
stayed there.
The only thing I can compare it to is the sound of a fucking raptor. A fat downy Tard runs up to us. Neil gets up and continues his Raptard roar directly in her face. Downy Tard goes batshit, engages Tard strength, and flips the entire table over. Neil not only continues his Tard roar, but moves closer to the Downy child. Down Kid just starts screaming and tries to run for the door, forgets to open it and smashes into it head first. K.O. Neil silences his roar, sits down and continues
It's
cutting
just how
papers and nothing had happened.
that's gonna hold
All my
me.
one.jpg. Tard Wranglers run in and retrieve Neil and the Downy child. They are both sent home. And that, my friends, is the first of my many stories of Neil. Just tell me if you want more. After our first fateful encounter, I hadn't seen Neil for a while. So this story takes place about 3 months after the previous story. Me walking down the hall with friends to lunch,
I
talking
am
about
the
usual
full
5th grade shit,
service
Pokemon and
that
whatnot.
drip into your
Your
head
faint yet memorable voice.
like poison,
Don't answer. Pretend I heard nothing due to the events of last time.
and the
Hear the
insult
sound yet again,
that is
except this time
accepted
directly in my ear.
with response.
He had just appeared at my side. He had to be at least 30 or so feet in the other direction previously.
And the
His speed
Crimson
would display in later
Spectre.
encounters. Wave awkwardly to him. "Hey, Neil." He extends a bag of Cheetos he had in his hand in my direction. "You serve me?" "No thanks, Neil." My friend, not knowing the kind of devastation Neil is capable of, reaches over and grabs one of the Cheetos out of the bag without asking. Neil looks up with pure malice. "Oh fuck, not again." Approaches my friend deliberately, looking into his eyes. Engage Raptard roar. This one was in short bursts. It appears as if he has different roars for different situations. Friend says, "What's wrong with him?" Say nothing, as I do not want to feel Neil's wrath. Friend backs away as Neil approaches, chewing the Cheeto. Neil lets out one last violent, hard roar and hurls himself at my friend, knocking him over. He jams his hand into my friend's mouth and retrieves the liquidy remnants of the Cheeto, while continuing his hard roar directly in his face. Stands up and eats liquidy, half-eaten Cheeto after silencing his roar. Tard Wrangler comes speeding down the hallway and grabs Neil by the wrist to pull him back to Tard HQ. Waves at me. "Thank you."
The
Not a
eyes
single ounce of
Kanhana
regret or any emotion for that
in
matter in
your
his eyes. I wave at him in utter awe. Bye, Neil. You guys want more? Neil,
Ah.
Part 3.
No
Battle of the
telling.
Tards. You see, Neil mainly kept to himself. He did not like his Tard kind. But he had an extreme dislike for one Tard named James. This is the first of their battles that I saw. Be in 6th grade now. New AI teacher is a very avid Tard supporter. We are now going to help the Tards out once a week for the entire year. I enter the Tard HQ and see Neil sitting in the corner. Hasn't grown an inch since last year. Turns out he will remain 5'0" for his entire life. He looks as if he is in total concentration reading a book. I walk up to Neil. Hey bud, what you reading? He gives me one of those toothy Tard grins. Hey, Neil. Sit next to him and look at the book.
Witcher's fast asleep.
Dr. Seuss's A Cat in a Hat.
Somewhere, of
A
course.
tall, skinny kid walks over towards us. I could tell that he was a dick from the second I saw him. What are you reading, Neil? Snatches book out of Neil's hand. This book is for babies. Nick gets up.
He did.
Baby James. James holds it above his head. Neil's rage is apparent.
What?
It is that of 1,000 suns.
Sadly, yes.
Neil sounds his rap Tard
So
screech.
boring they put you to sleep.
This is slightly different from his rule. Its sole effect is to piss off other Tards. Stupid Neil, take your dope.
Slow through that
Too
brick.
late for that,
No
bud.
wonder she took off.
Neil continues to approach, with his fist above his head as far as he can reach. Screech continues. At this point, Tard HQ is compromised. They're going crazy. Crayons and shit are being thrown. One Tard is curled into a ball and puddled in piss. AI class is told to evacuate. I stayed to watch the imminent lulls. James is now clenching his ears for dear life. Neil is finally within striking distance of James. He throws his mighty fist down into James's nuts with the accumulative force of 1,000 banhammers. James drops and begins to throw up onto the magic carpet. Neil silences the screech, picks up the book James had stolen from him, and sits down to read it directly in James's pile of throw-up. But why, .jpg?
Right now.
He looks up at me with that toothy grin as I just stare. Tard Wranglers bust in. One grabs me to bring me to safety. The others grab the debilitated James and Neil. Neil screams after me, "Thank you!"
I'll show you the
I just
card.
watch as he is hauled off to the principal's office, not giving a single bit of resistance. That day was known as End Day up until I left for the high school. Neil, Part 3. Be in second marking period now.
Now, teaching
Neil has been suspended for pulverizing James's nuts. He's back now. I have started to look forward to our days helping the Tards just because
As I summon the man-eater
unfortunately,
Bob.
it's not that day. Be in art class. Teacher says we have a Tard coming to our class from now on because the school has started a new integration program for Tards. Neil walks through the fucking door. Class, this is Neil. Hello, Neil, we say in unison as I wave.
Present-day moments are so fun to terrorize,
Teacher
don't
lets
you
him sit
think?
next to me because he knows me. James walks into class after him. Oh shit, nigger.jpg. James is introduced to class and is put at the same table as us just by
Someone with
luck.
great power.
We are starting
Soon to be
watercolor
great.
painting right now.
I can't
Neil
really
decides
say
he
how
wants to
fun
paint
I
an
have
apple
things
because
to do.
that's what I was painting.
So I'll summon a monster
James
to
starts shit
gets
with us
painted
because he's a dick.
into their pathetic whines.
Neil ignores him because he's fucking Neil. He doesn't give a fuck. James, obviously angered by being
Jobs
ignored
match
by
of some of
me
these
and Neil,
ridiculous
pours
ducks
all
to
his
the
paint onto
graveyard.
my painting. Don't give a fuck, but Neil sure as hell did. Commence Raptard Roar short burst mode. This is when I found out that the short bursts mean he's about to wreck shit. Neil throws all his paint right into James's eyes as the class looks on with horror. James can't see shit. Neil has taken up skills that I assume he had hidden in the foreskin of his penis. I found out he's uncircumcised and later insect, and begins pelting James with them. He's hurling these at Mach 5 speeds into him.
I admit we
James falls to
spoiled
the
it.
stool he's sitting on and brings the girl sitting next to him along too. Neil walks around the table.
Been saying
Thinks of
that
the pain
true.
and slowly
You
empties
let
it
her walk
onto
all
both
over you
James.
just like the rest of us do.
It is apparent that Neil does not give two shits about civilian casualties.
Blame, but this has to
Has
end
stopped.
now.
Kids are all huddled into the corner side of
monsters
me.
is not something to be
Tards
taken
say
lightly.
boy girl caught in the mix.
Sarah just understand that.
Teachers signal for
She's
Tard
taken
wranglers outside. James and Neil are picked up and taken from the classroom. Neil is in complete and utter peace while being carried away. He simply leaves at me. And that was the end of the school's integration program after the girl who got Rex's parents attempted to sue
Now
the
I see
school.
why you were so eager to practice.
Straight. The story of the lightning wrapped tard. Be in 7th grade now. Haven't seen Neil in over a year. He and his parents have moved to a different school district, possibly due to the previously mentioned problems with this one. Be in the 3rd marking period. It's okay, not the same without Neil though.
Circus, go it.
Walking down the hall one day, lo and behold, Neil is walking down the hall.
Footwork.
All 5 feet of him. Run up to him. Hey Neil, you coming back to school again?
Enough. Get down.
He now has his own personal tard wrangler at all times except
What
for
do you
lunch,
think?
who explains everything to me. Unfortunately, I have no classes with Neil due to the
Take off the
whole
blindfold.
integration system being destroyed by the wrath of Neil.
You've got work to do.
I see
Your
him in the
reflexes are
halls
still
all the time
slow.
though.
Maybe
You
for
see,
a
the
wet
thing
job.
about our middle
Think
school
drowners
is
or
that it has
striggers will go
multiple
easy on you
buildings,
because you haven't
which you
undergone
have to travel
mutations?
outside to get to.
Though in your
As I
shoes, I'd
mentioned
fear
before,
Vezemir
Neil
more than
possesses
Striga.
lightning speed,
Disobeying his
which he
Some
does
instructions.
display
dark
very often.
tempest.
One day, while I'm
Yes.
in the wood shop with my friends, I see something blaze past me, followed by a familiar noise.
And you know that's no
Don't
excuse.
see Tard's mighty
I'm
roar.
sorry.
50
Won't
feet behind
happen
him is the
again.
Wrangler, unable to keep up with him. Everybody looks on in shock as Neil plows directly through a small Asian girl carrying her books. As previously stated, Neil doesn't give two shits about civilian casualties. Neil looks behind to see how far he is from the Wrangler. He silences his roar as he can see he has won. Neil fails to see the glass door directly in front of him, though, and plows through it, just as he did the Asian girl. Neil is out. Tard Wrangler finally catches up and picks up Neil to bring him back to Tard HQ, just as he comes back to consciousness. Neil sees me as he's being carried away. Neil is back, everybody. Be in 6th grade still, only a week left of school.
Now come,
Neil
84.
has been rather quiet lately, mainly because me and my friends now let him sit with us at lunch and whatnot, because he has never disrupted anything, and there was always the possibility of Neil unleashing his wrath yet again. So James wasn't near him without Tard Wrangler's supervision often. AI teacher thinks that this is a wonderful idea for us to throw an end-of-the-year party with the Tards. Teacher has no idea of the sequence of events which she has set forth. The party is to be held 3 days before the end of school, and it has to be 80s themed. By the end of the day, I have my hair slicked back and in a white t-shirt because I'm lazy and unoriginal. The AI class has set up the entire thing: soda, candy, food, music, and whatnot. I talk to my friends as we wait for the Tards to enter. The Tards make their entrance into the gymnasium where this is being held. Most of the Tards look, well, retarded. Neil is dressed up as Michael Jackson. He looks fucking badass. Neil walks over to us and says hi.
Death.
Neil seems a bit off today, though. Lots of energy. Turns out Neil skipped off on his meds today. Not a very good thing. Neil equals ticking time bomb of raptardness. James walks over to us. I can already sense his bad intentions. Hey, J-Bo, what's up? Neil just stares at him in a way I've never seen before. What's wrong with Neil? Neil drops his soda on the ground. Oh shit, minorities.jpg. Neil walks away. Wait, what? James shouts after him. You gonna play, J-Bo? Neil walks behind one of the curtains in the gymnasium. Nothing can be seen in the darkness over there. A minute later, Neil appears all the way across the gym on top of the stage we had in there. He is completely naked, underwear and all. Aside for the single white glove that Michael wears. Engage Raptard Screech, the Tard Rage Invoker. The Tard's Frenzy. The downy Tard from my original story kicks over the stereo. Kids just want to have fun. It continuously plays that single part of the song. There are no wranglers around to subdue the Tards, and the Tard rage ensues. Neil jumps off the stage and charges James. James is tackled to the ground by the naked Neil.
Watch me.
Neil proceeds to rub his chode-like, uncircumcised penis all over James's neck and chest. The roar has stopped. Where's the cable now, James? Oh god, the sight was amazing. The Tards run out of the gymnasium crying and screaming, now that they can think straight since the screech has ended. The only people left in the gymnasium are me, the teacher, and my friends looking at Neil wipe his phallus all over James's face. Neil gets up off of James. His deed has been done. He proceeds to get dressed again. Just as he finishes, the Tard Wranglers finally arrive. Too late, bros. The teacher retells things that had ensued, and they walk over to carry Neil and James out. Neil walks up to me and hands me a quarter for no apparent reason. As he is being carried away, Neil looks to be just as peaceful as he always is. Because he did not give a single fuck. He never did, and he never will. Neil waves as they exit through the double doors and screams, "Thank you!" I wave back at Neil, as it is the last time I'll see him for over a year. Bye, Neil. I still have that quarter. Neil. Clash of the Tards Part 2. Being the last marking period of 7th grade, Neil has been quiet for a while now because the principal claims that he will not deal with the same stuff the grade school did. Neil don't give a fuck, but he is inactive for a while. My classes no longer have a Tard day, so I don't get to see Neil as often. To my luck, my lunch has moved to the same period as all the Tards. Neil starts sitting with us again, with the blessing of his Tard Wrangler. Everything is going fine, and then I see somebody walking over to us that looks familiar. Oh shit, nigger.jpg. It's James in all of his dickishness. He has started to grow a pedophile-esque mustache. Tard got held back in Tard classes. He's a foot behind Neil, just breathing. Will you guys let Cable and Neil sit with you? I calmly tell him to go away as I don't want to start any trouble. I stay if they want. Proceed to ignore him. Frustrated by nobody giving a fuck about him, he pushes Neil out of his seat and sits in it. Hey James, that wasn't very nice. Let Neil sit down again. No, Neil's a Cable. Neil has had enough of this shit. Commence the rap Tard screech. A new lot of Tards have yet to feel the wrath of Neil's screech rattle through their brains, making them ultra-sensitive. Tards all rage. Food is thrown. It happened to be hot dog day. Tiny meat penis replicas were flying everywhere. Neil picks up a hot dog and starts smacking him in the chest with it. Neil picks up a hot dog and starts smacking him in the neck and chest with it, while simultaneously screeching directly into James's ear. Kinda reminded me of Neil rubbing his dick on James's chest. The Wranglers are almost done restraining the raging Tards and are about to move on to Neil and James. Neil sees this and goes in for the finisher. He raises his hand, just as he did in the first clash of the Tards. Falcon Punch charging. Just as the last of the raging Tards is restrained, Neil hits James's nuts as if he were trying to kill all of the little Jameses that are stored up in there. James fades out in the pain. Neil silences his screech, sits down, and eats the hot dog he had just rubbed all over James. The Tard Wranglers finally arrive and carry them both off to HQ, as the cafeteria watches in awe. Neil looks as if nothing is wrong. He simply waves at me and utters that familiar slur of words. Thank you. Score, Neil 2, James 0. Neil and the new special ed teacher. Be in 8th grade now. First marking period. Old special ed teacher quit for personal reasons. I personally think she couldn't handle the wrath of Neil. This year there is a special class you can take if you are interested in using a period of your day to help the Tards. Obviously I signed up in order to be with Neil more, so that I could make sure and see if any more hilarity ensues. I walk into Tard HQ that day and there's a new teacher. She's young. Seems to really enjoy what she is doing. Everything looks as if it has been going well for the day. Our day is about to take a very unexpected turn for the worse. I am sitting down on the carpet with Neil, helping him read a book on Dr. Seuss. This kid really fucking loves his Dr.
All
Seuss.
victories.
Neil doesn't understand what half the words mean, so I do my best to help him by explaining the meanings. We come across a word that neither of us know. Neil thinks that I am only not telling him because I want him to figure it out for himself, which I did sometimes just because I felt like it was better for him than me just telling him. Neil is starting to get very frustrated, and for the first time it is directed at me, not somebody else. Oh God, please help me, .jpg. I do my best to calm him down, but he is stuck on the thought that I know what it means. Neil engages the mighty Raptor burst roll.
I was afraid
For you new guys in here, he does this when he's about to wreck shit.
I will tell you now.
I'm going to die. It didn't matter that I was half foot taller than him. I was scared shitless. Everybody except for the teacher knows what is about to happen. They just watch on as horror as there is nothing they can do.
And my mother.
Teacher runs over thinking she can help. Bad idea. Neil engages Raptard Screech, enraging his tarred brethren. James is on the floor pissing himself. The others are throwing shit at each other in the utter rage that the Neil Screech invokes. The teacher gets hit with a stapler traveling at speeds previously unseen by man. KO. Neil now turns towards me and stops the Screech momentarily to talk. Tell me what it means, Pooh. In desperation, I tell him it's a bad word that nobody is supposed to say. Neil believes me entirely.
You're gonna
He goes the rest of his life, as far as I know, convinced that acumen is just as bad of a word as fuck. All of his anger immediately disappears.
End of discussion.
He gives me that toothy grin and simply sits back down as if I had just shared some secret with him. I sit down next to him and he whispers,
Of course. There's a Witcher school in Elven Bathhouse.
Tard Wranglers burst through the door. One carries Neil, the other carries the new teacher to the nurse's office. As Neil is exiting Tard HQ, his toothy grin remains. Thank you. She has no idea what the fuck she's getting into. Neil brings his pet turtle to school. Being in 8th grade still in the first marking period. The new teacher thinks that it would be a wonderful idea for other people to bring in things to show the class. Every day it's a different student. Today that student happens to be Neil.
Siri, cut it out.
He brings in his pet turtle, Jimmy, to show the class. Everything seems to be going well for the show and tell. Neil is passing around the turtle for people to hold. I mean, it's a fucking turtle. What could happen, right? Seeing as nothing that good is going on, I leave and go to the bathroom. I take a piss in what was probably 3 minutes. It was a very long piss. I walk back into the classroom and utter chaos has ensued. Neil is screaming, Jimmy, Jimmy, where are you? As one of the tards is crying in the corner. I'm assuming Neil let loose a short screech for a second to get everyone's attention. The turtle was gone, apparently. He was lost among all the handing him around. Do you hear me? They lost a fucking turtle. I run up to Neil and ask him what's wrong.
Jimmy is doing
Okay, Neil, calm down. I'll find Jimmy.
I'm very
I start
sorry.
looking around. I search fucking everywhere. The turtle was nowhere to be found.
But when you fight
All of a sudden, that fucker James Watson, he's got a big retard grin in his face.
You want to be able to tell a
And he has been
ghoul
gone
from
since
an
right
owl.
after I
By
left.
markings, like I
Neil
was
immediately
once
catches
very
on
tight
and
as
lets his
the
turd
Derek
screech.
and
Shit
by
goes
the
from
second
chaos to
of its
pure
release.
clusterfuck in seconds. Not only is Jimmy the fucking turtle gone, now I have to reach a mob of tards in space.
You were a
I
sneaky
scream to James
Uncle
over all
Vesemir.
the noise. Where is Jimmy? Where is he? Jimmy is now crying
Don't
as
try
I'm
to
trying to
weasel
use.
your way out of this.
See a sliver
A
of
witcher
green
must
back
know
in the
how to trick
classroom
his
in the corner of my
opponents.
eye.
You said so
I
yourself.
investigate the site. It is Jimmy the fucking
Fine.
turtle halfway
But
under
don't
a
use my
bean
words
bag.
of wisdom on Vesemir, got it?
He was there
That's
the
playing
entire
with
time.
fire.
I pick him up and present him to Neil, who is
Fine,
overcome
we
with
talked
happiness
enough.
to have Jimmy back.
Geralt, you're with me. Lambert with Eskel. Siri with a W.
The new teacher still isn't able to
Stop
handle
groaning
shit,
and grab a
and she
sword.
is sitting in the corner of the room. Neil's screech may have stopped, but the tard rage hasn't.
What do you
The
think?
tard finds
Should
the
we start
stapler
by
yet
reviewing
again,
the fundamentals or go right to free
it
training?
connects with Mrs. Springer while breaking the sound barrier. Out cold. Tard regulars burst
Should
into
work
the
on
room
the
and subdue
basics.
the tards.
Even skilled
He
masters
is
need to hone
perfectly
the
fine,
fundamentals.
so he's left in
It's
Tard
Ciri's
HQ
barely a
this time, but
novice.
apparently it was my fault Jimmy was lost. I am dragged out by the principal who accompanied the Wranglers. The last thing I see is Neil, there, sitting in the corner with Jimmy. I got a fucking week of detention. Neil, the secret admirer. So in Neil's class, there was one Jody. Jody was above average height, ugly as fuck, half-functioning tard who always wore these fucking berets. She was annoying as fuck. All she would do was make white lies. And she knew nobody believed her, but she had to. One time she claimed that she was related to Leonardo da Vinci, and she had some stuff autographed by him. And she's fucking Irish, but I digress. So it turns out that she secretly had a crush on Neil. I found this out in a rather frightening way, though. One day during gym was the only class integrated, I was cornered by Jody and her nasty fucking odor. Seriously, the girl did not make use either night. I swear her stench would counteract Saddam's mustard gas. So she cornered me in the gym and whispered in my ear, "Yeah, what about it?" "Do you think he moved loosely?" I immediately ducked under her arm and ran to the safety of my decent-smelling friends. Later that day, I saw Neil and asked him if he liked Jody. I laughed and dropped the subject, as it would obviously never happen. As I left Tard HQ to go to my next class, I was cut off by Jody. "So what did he say, Phil?" "Sorry, he doesn't like you." "Oh shit, not again, .jpg. Jody runs over to Neil at the pace of a muscular, disturbing child. She begins screaming in some kind of high-pitched tone, almost like her own rap-tard roar, but nowhere near the magnitude of Neil's. Neil takes this as a challenge and unleashes the most mind-deafening rap-tard screech I have yet heard. Jody is cut off mid-scream. The power of Neil's is just so overwhelming. Tards go batshit instantly. It was as if World War Tard had hit the Tard HQ. Miss Springer is now a little better at handling the situation, but she is nowhere near capable of handling this. This time she has the common sense to get under the desk before the stapler in her head have a collision that rivals the power of the Haiti earthquakes. I try to calm Neil down, but it is futile. The Tard Wranglers finally arrive before the Tards reach full-on Hulk mode and are able to restrain them. Neil stops his screech, seeing that the situation no longer requires it as Jody is subdued. The Wranglers pick him up and carry him out of Tard HQ yet again. I wave at Neil as he is carried out the door, peaceful, as he is every time it happens. Chronicles of Neil, the Staplers are coming. 8 days still. The third marking period now. Neil and I have just been chilling for quite some time in class. Nothing terrible has happened in a while. I started to think that I'd never see the wrath of Neil again. I'll think again. Neil had recently gotten his first cell phone. His parents bought it for him so they could keep tabs on him better and whatnot. Neil loved the new phone and texted me frequently. As far as I know, I'm the only one he texted. So while we were sitting in class one day, the teacher actually attempted to teach the Tards something. Neil sent me a text saying, "Hi." Mrs. Springer saw him send this message, unfortunately. She made the very terrible mistake of taking Neil's shitty cell phone. Neil didn't take this too lightly. In fact, he took it terribly. As soon as she took it out of his hand, he let out a rap-tard screech so fiercely it made Mrs. Springer drop his phone. At this point, Neil thought she had broke his phone and went into full-on rage mode. I made no attempts to calm him down because she had brought this upon herself. The Tards ran rampant. It was as if Neil was Lion Tard and he was leading his army of Tards against Mrs. Springer. All he needed was the blue face paint. The Tards commenced their attack on everything within their reach. The very same Tard as the previous time was in reach of the stapler, and this time Miss Springer wasn't smart enough to hide under her desk. The Tard grabbed the stapler and hurled it with all of his might. When it connected with Miss Springer, it was as if Chernobyl had just happened in her head, and she was down for the count. 1, 2, my father, she was fucking out. Now that it appeared as if someone had suffered extreme head trauma, I figured I might as well help. Turns out that Neil's phone was fine, the battery just fell out. I put it back in and handed it to him as he returned to his realm, not giving a fuck about the damage he had caused. Turns out Neil was leaving early that day, so he bailed before the Tard Wranglers even got there to clean up the mess. Neil just walks out the door, looking at his phone and simultaneously waving to me behind him. See ya, Neil.
A little she-devil.
Don't fuck with Neil's shit.
Back, we'll set it to polishing all
Flash of the Tards, Part 3. Be in 8th grade. Be in 4th working period now. Shit has been far from smooth for Neil lately. As I said before, he destroyed some bitch recently and wasn't sparing a single fuck to give about it. Because of this, Tard Wrangler has been paying close attention to Neil, trying to prevent him from getting into any more trouble. LOL, nice try. During the period that I helped the Tards out, there was a major Tard emergency on the other side of the school. It required all Tard Wranglers, so Neil was left alone for the time being.
What then?
As soon as the Tard Wranglers were out, someone was walking over to us. It was James the Dickhead, no doubt approaching to start shit with Neil. Neil was playing the Pac-Man free trap on his phone, and could not give a shit about anything else going on. James is now standing directly in front of us. James just basically go read something. Neil is completely focused on the Pac-Man game, and nothing else. James grows angry that Neil won't let him see what he's playing. James grabs the phone from Neil mid-game. As James looks at the phone, all he hears the womp 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 sound of Pac-Man dying. Bad idea, James. Bad idea. Neil emits the Raptard screech as he stares at James with the fury of 1,000 burning midgets. James is now able to resist the screech to an extent, but it is futile nonetheless. His future was set the second he touched Neil's phone. Neil approaches James with very blatant and cruel intentions. When Neil is within striking range, he begins to cock back his leg as far as possible. The Tard Wrangler is now turning the handle of the door. Too late now, though. James's manhood is about to be decimated. Neil unleashes the most powerful kick ever performed by a man. When it collided with James's nuts, it was as if there was a disturbance in the horse. James drops, and for a second time now he was throwing up, due to Neil's intentions of making sure his family line ends with him. The Tard Wrangler restrains Neil as fast as possible, although it wasn't needed. Neil has stopped his screech now and is back to his so blissful state.
Those were the days.
As he was being yanked out the door, he waved
She-devil. I've trained kids who
He got
were
a text a
faster,
few minutes later.
but none had her
People
character.
need to learn not to fuck with Neil's shit. Neil versus
Isn't
Barb
that
the
well,
Bitch.
Agreed.
Be in 8th grade still. Be in the final few months of school before summer starts. It's kind of sad that I'm not going to see him for a while. Walking to Tard HQ with Neil
It
and
was
Mitchell
just
Pearson.
a dream.
Neil wasn't paying very much attention as usual. He was just talking and looking down at his phone as if he was mystified by how
When Siri appeared in my dreams, something was wrong. She was in
I see
danger.
Barb the Bitch walking
We
down the
taught her
hallway
how
in
to
the corner
defend
of my
herself
eyes.
from anything.
Barb got this nickname because, well, she's a huge bitch, even to Tards. Since Neil wasn't paying attention, he walks
He's
directly
gone
into
now,
Barb
sis.
and knocks her onto the ground.
Time to go.
He quickly says, "Charity," and motions to help her up. The bitch
Wait.
snatches his hand out of the way and starts
Tell
to
me
yell,
the letter from Yennefer.
"Why don't you watch where you're going?"
Didn't
Poor
have
decisions.jpg.
We're gonna read
Neil
it
takes
next.
this as an imminent threat
We
and
must-
unleashes his short burst roar.
What's this
His
supposed
only
to be?
warning that he's about to slap someone's shit.
That's
Barb
private.
continues to yell,
Very
"Why are you making that sound, needle dick?"
Back on
I begin to
topic.
grow angry with her.
How's it look?
"Barb, what the hell's your
2 or 3
problem?"
days.
Neil just puts his
Trail's
arm in
fresh.
front of me like he's got
It
this.
looks like it leads
Neil
towards
dives
the
for her
main
legs
road.
and she topples over.
There'll be muddled
She struggles,
there.
but Neil has engaged Raptard's strength. Resistance is futile. He gets into a full mount position
Wait,
on top
hear
of her and
that?
positions his head directly over
Yes.
hers.
Ghouls.
Stopped. Not JPG. All that could be heard throughout the hall was the sound of flap being drawn up in someone's mouth. It's Neil. He slowly lets the nasty idea I've ever seen rip out of his mouth and directly onto her forehead. It seeped onto her forehead, down the sides of her head. Barb proceeded to make the exit as she was killed. sees this as a sign that he has won and releases her from his heart structure. Since she doesn't hear, it was as if he had erased the memory from his head entirely. It was glorious. Neil very slowly became Wrangler. Be in 8th grade, be about halfway through the year. As I said before, Neil is the lightning raptard. He is fast as hell. Well, he put this particular asset to good use against his new Wrangler. Well, at lunch one day, the Wrangler wasn't paying much attention. He greatly underestimated the power of Neil. Well, the dumb fuck was flirting with one of the substitute teachers. Neil slipped the fuck out and he go somewhere. Tard Wrangler finally notices and asks me what happens to him. I don't know, it's your job to keep track of him. He runs off down the hallway. I follow out of curiosity. We go out to the main walkway. Neil is nowhere to be found. His pants are on top of the trash can. We hear a scream come from the building we were just in. It turns out Neil had scared some of the girls walking down the hall. Neil has now been running around for 15 minutes straight at full speed. This would be hard for anyone to maintain. Neil is found by the two of us. The Tard guards grab him by the wrist and pull him towards the bathroom to put his pants back on. Neil mumbles, Neil engages Tard-Fru grip on the Tard guard's wrist. It is well-known fact that Tard-Fru grip is unbreakable. Neil tries to free his wrist to no avail. Neil throws up that day's lunch he had. Pizza, fries, and juice, all of the Wrangler's fancy shoes. He sighs in disgust and tosses Neil into the bathroom. Neil begins his hard screech due to the excessive force used on him. Thankfully, no tards were nearby to rage. I help calm Neil down, and he tells the principal that the Wrangler hurt him. Wrangler is ultimately fired a week later for this, all because he is a dumb fuck. Don't flirt with substitutes when you should be watching the Neil versus Be in 8th grade still. Be almost the end of the year. He's excited to try target preparation again. That idea. Neil has now been assigned to the force since Tard Wrangler. He has his eyes on Neil at all times. Neil fucking hates him even more than the last. Just so turns out that I got Neil integrated into my woodshop class. Woodshop teacher is old, fat man with a large white beard who does not deal with any shit at all due to the possible dangers of his class. Why they let tards in the woodshop, I will never know. Tard Wrangler is only allowed to watch from outside the classroom as to not disturb the class. Be learning how to make a shelf. Required to use jigsaw. Neil goes to use jigsaw, completely disregards all safety precautions. Shop teacher sees this and shits a brick. Runs over to Neil shouting, "What the hell do you think you're doing? Did you ignore everything I said? Get out of here!" Neil's eyes light up with fury at the woodshop teacher showing up aggression. Engage Raptard Roar as short burst mode. I prepare for new shit to get wrecked. Woodshop has yet to encounter Neil and has no idea what the fuck is going on. He continues to shout aggressively. "What the hell are you doing, kid? I said get out." Neil has had enough of Santa Claus's shit. Neil tosses the hunk of wood at the old man at full force and connects with his head with the power of 12 large hydraulic lighters. Santa is out cold. Seasoned Tard Wrangler sees this and immediately jumps into action. He runs directly at Neil and lunges for him. Too slow for the lightning Raptard. Neil avoids it and runs for the door. Wrangler saw this coming and locked the door after he came in. Neil begins to panic. He has never faced a Wrangler this good. Wrangler begins to corner Neil. Neil senses that his defeat is imminent. He silences his Raptard rumors. The Wrangler closes in. He shouts at the Wrangler, "If you hear me," referring to acumen, what he thought was a word equivalent to fuck due to a previous encounter. The Wrangler picks up Neil and prepares to bring him to Tard HQ. Neil has stopped his resistance entirely. For once, someone has bested Neil. What is happening, .jpg? Neil just waves to me and utters that familiar slurred words.
So, a griffin this close to the
Neil
village.
versus Tard Wrangler Part 3, Neil's Revenge. He in 8th grade still. Be about a week after the previous incident. Surprisingly, the school has kept the whole Tard integration thing going. Neil has had it up to his head, 5 feet, with his new Tard Wrangler shit. He refuses to give him even an inch of space, not even during lunch when Neil chills with me and my friends. Neil has been planning this. He had to have. Something so elaborate could not have simply come out of thin air, even for Neil. Neil waits until lunch to unleash his wrath. Remember, all the tards eat lunch at the same time with all the regular kids. The eating lunch happens to be Taco Day. Neil, out of the blue, unleashes the most violent of his raptard screeches I have ever heard. The fuck.jpg. Neil was unprovoked, and I was very confused as he did not let me in on his plan. Tards start to go batshit crazy. Meat, rice, and cheese soaring over our heads. I ducked down as to avoid the carnage, but continue to watch Neil. Seasoned Tard Wrangler starts his approach to apprehend Neil. Not happening, bro. Neil fucking books it using his lightning raptard speed. All the way to the other side of the cafeteria in milliseconds. Tard Wrangler picks up speed in order to keep pace with Neil, and stops paying attention to the ground. Neil has started to remove his clothes by now. Tard Wrangler's foot hits a pile of taco meat that has been thrown by the raging tards, and does a cartoon-style slip right onto his back, now covered in taco ingredients. Neil has completed the process of undressing. He's letting his uncircumcised penis hang for everyone to see. Neil begins to charge the Tard Wrangler. Students look on in horror to the events unfolding before their very eyes. They could not fathom what was going to happen.
I'll not drink the Weevil's freaks.
Raptard screech. Neil dives on top of the Wrangler. Engage Tard strength. Even the full-grown Wrangler is not able to fight
Beg your pardon for those words.
No need. We're
Neil
used to it.
silences his Raptard screech and scoops up the stray taco
Folk
meat,
are jumping around here.
shoving them directly into
Armies
his
have passed through. Now a
Chews
griffin's
into
prowling about.
digested puree.
Already had the pleasure.
JPG.
Ran into your kinsman,
Positions his
Bram.
head directly above the Wranglers.
How
Just
is
as
he?
he had
Alive.
the
Sends
picture
his
of his
regards.
parents.
Master
And
riches.
regurgitates this taco
Food and
skin
drink on the
puree
house.
onto the face of
What
the
can I get
Wrangler.
you?
Neil has had his revenge and sees no reason to continue the onslaught.
Looking for a woman.
He gets
Raven
on with
hair,
his
violet
romantic
eyes,
talks.
dresses in black and white.
And gets dressed
Riding in
once
from
again.
Willoughby.
Raging mob
And
returns.
strange as it sounds, lilac and gooseberries might have smelled
He's
that.
picked up by one Wrangler.
I've not seen nor
Towards the
smelt such a
cafeteria
lady.
exit.
Believe I remember.
Heads to the seasoned
Yeah,
Tard
especially hard to forget this one.
Neil is in complete harmony.
Plenty of travellers
Sophie
about, though.
waves goodbye to
Folks
me
are
and
all
shouts in my
over.
direction,
Might be worth your while to ask after her.
all the while holding a very toothy grin because he knows he has broken the Super Wrangler. He is free from the wrath of Neil. This is the last story.
Thanks.
Neil,
For
the
everything.
story of the Tard Ball game. Be in 8th grade, be in the last 2 weeks finally. Miss Springer has organized a baseball game for the Tards and all the kids who
Master
have
Witches,
for that one
would you be of a
period.
mind to kill
Four
them?
choices made.
Beasts are scourge in our land. Only killed livestock at first. It's got a taste of human flesh of late. We're afraid to set foot outdoors.
If someone will pay us, won't say no.
James walks up to Neil and I before the game commences. Neil doesn't give a fuck as usual, and I simply disregard the Tard. All he wants to do is sit
Help
there
me bandage that
until
up,
the shit is over,
please.
but he has
I'm not
taken the
decrepit
right
yet.
batting part.
Then I'll...
Neil's turned to bat. Miss Springer's pitching underhand on the targets. She has obviously underestimated Neil's power despite the previous numbers. Miss Springer throws the ball. Neil misses his first swing. I hear James from over on second base. She tosses the ball a second time, and Neil
Looking
misses
for a
yet
woman.
again. James feels it necessary
Like
to continue taunting
Not
Neil.
like everyone. And not just any woman. Mine smells of lilac and gooseberries, dresses in black and white.
Circus face, Doc J.
Two snaps.
Miss Springer tosses the ball to Neil.
It'll lift your spirits.
A final time. Neil hits the
Fine,
fucker with
I'll
all
have a
his
drink.
strength. It was as if the spirit
Can we
of
cut
Babe
to the
Ruth
chase?
had been
You seen her or
into a
not?
Tard.
Yennefer
Ball
will
plays
think
straight
of it.
towards James with the speed of 1,000 blazing niggers. Oh shit, not JPEG. Boom, the ball cracks against his skull.
Never mentioned her name.
Yet you described her perfectly. And once I hear something, I'll never forget. Can't help
I
it.
personally think she should be praising God that the speeding object did not hit her for once. She begins to shout at Neil. Why do you always have to cause trouble? Neil does not like being yelled at.
How do you know
Neil, taking a
Yennefer?
sign of aggression to party,
Master Dandelion's ballad, of course. The only way a humble merchant might hope to rub up against greatness. Unless...
Tards are rimming other tards with their heads, while wearing batting
And runs into a very patient witcher.
It's a Geralt of Rivia himself.
Picture of
Butcher
left.
and was possessed by Neil. Tard Wrangler seems to action. Despite being seriously through the crypts of the fight, the Tard apocalypse was going on directly in front of me.
None of your business.
And I got the front row seats.
Yes, as a vagrant, I deserve no explanation.
What do you know? Tell me.
Before you appeared, it never occurred to me that might have been Yennefer.
He charges Miss
Who would
Spring
have thought?
with his mighty Tard
Get to the point.
And the Nilfgaardian scout in the local garrison saw her.
Where?
At their camp. She rode in there, dark of night, black and white, gooseberries and... Yes, I know. Had a terse exchange with the garrison commander of Rachel.
Where to?
I've got Odysseus. Ask at the garrison.
Thanks.
We men of the road must stick.
Back to Tard HQ by the Wrangler. He waves back towards me. Baseball field.
Done drinking.
Niggas ain't got shit.
Fuck off. Don't want your kind here.
Better round up someone else to help. 3 of you don't stand a chance against me.
Well, I could fuck you up by myself.
If I had a bag over my head and my hands tied behind... Actually, no, not even then.
Shit, Lesh, back off. I'll teach this vagrant a lesson. Man on freak.
We pretended to be I was the counselor started slumming to school Mississippi next. 1 week he insists we had to put one of the teachers on the list. He refused and said, well, yes, we're getting grades for this.
Dude,
He rises, picks a chair, goes in
and then teacher
teacher steps in
in class.
Don takes the
Chair
chair.
is like whacking the teacher with chair. And then I pass out laughter.
Janitor's gone. Anyone gets suspended. Teacher finds list.
Yes.
Friend gets framed
Name.
and suspended as well.
Hell.
Don returns to school Monday night. Kisses hand saying, welcome back, Don. Don is back. Apparently he had
What happened here?
chance on the school
He
fair
is
last
us.
Oh, we bit
Therapist
chilly
at
the
party
night.
washed
Set
him.
fire to my forge.
With chair
Got a
was
nice roaring. Roasted some
Don
wieners.
needed a new list.
What do you think happened, dimwit? Some bugger.
But Don,
Me
eventually we managed to get
So we'll finish this quest and turn in the video.
To better get the message through to his head, I showed him a few Dragon Ball Z AMVs, you know, the ones with Linkin Park songs.
Any suspects?
Don finally reawakens. He is all jacked up and pumped because of my AMVs. A classmate that got suspended threatens to snitch. Hey Don, one of your men has betrayed us. Don says.
Bang dents out your plate, shoe horses. That sort of
Don
thing.
still says nothing.
Nilfgaardians don't pay me a bloody copper. Just give me supplies and orders.
We get out of school.
Humans can't fathom that.
Suddenly I
They
hear
think I'm
him
getting
scream.
rich off their misfortune.
Don starts
Sleep on a
looking
pile of
Rhino
gold like a ploughing
on
dragon.
Snitch, tripping
Stop
against
those stairs.
Spit when I pass. Now this.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah, PG.
Don starts screeching like a T-Rex.
Yes.
He wants to
Kill the snitch now.
Long story
He's
short,
hurt.
policeman
He's
passes by and
right.
gets the idea
Maybe
that
the
Snitch is
snitch bullying Don.
Snitch gets another
Let's
suspension
make
and eventually
They get
changes.
school.
He still doesn't know it was my
He's
fault.
all going along.
Other kids are now legitimately scared of the dog.
I can find your
Other
arse
kids from
provided
other
you're
classes
willing
want
to
to be
pay.
among his friends.
I've not much left.
We even had
I'll
some
give you
guys
all if you
who
bring me
ran
that horses. So
Don
that he
had
gets
to
what he
decide
deserves.
if it was worthy.
The night of the fire,
Me and
I
Don
moved
ended up
outside
sharing
my
the
hut.
same desk with
Went
the
out to
rest
see
of
if I
the
could find any tracks. I found
kids.
nothing.
Towards the end of the
But then I
second
haven't got
semester,
cat eyes, have I?
Don now has 40 made men. We even have a secret gesture. He has developed a real addiction to Dragon Ball's AMVs. He is now convinced he is some kind of mafioso Super Saiyan. Thanks to my charisma, I am now the Don's official consigliere. Parents super happy the Dawn has so many friends. They frequently invite me and a few other trusted Maine men home. The list thing has been abandoned now that the whole school knows about us. The Dawn now has a social life, friends, and frequent power trips courtesy of Dragon Ball APs. He goes to an afternoon school for Downies. He even has a Downey GF. He treats her like his gun ball or something. One Downey at the afternoon school is obviously not okay with the Dawn's success. Of course, it's not long before a new list gets issued and the Rambles Tard's name appears on that list. As his trusted consigliere, I tell him to stay calm and wait for the right time for vengeance. One afternoon, we get some kind of bullshit integration course about confidence and diversity. The enemy Downey is the speaker. Dawn is fucking fuming right now. We try to calm him down and avoid another rhino charge by feeding him Mars bars. Meanwhile, enemy Downey has ended his quote-unquote speech. Dawn's gunball is there as well. She starts clapping the Downey. Downey gets close and kisses the Dawn's woman. Oh shit, not JPG. The Dawn freezes. Well, parts of Mars bars drool out of his mouth. He pushes me aside, and Rhino charges the Downey. Stabs him in the leg with a fucking big
Took off his boots and went in the water.
Janitors are
Probably wanted to cover his
forced
trail.
to stop the gun. Eventually, I call the parents. The Dawn's gunball has obviously changed sides. She slaps the Dawn and starts sucking the Downey's open wound. Dawn now faces risk of being expelled. Therapists put him on meds and mentions bad influence to non-drowners. I get a special mention for being friends with him. As an example of tolerance, blah. Eventually, the Dawn is not suspended, thanks to our insistence that we get the school's director to keep it, leveraging on pity and shit. The Dawn returns. He is visibly changed, less responsive. Dawn, what's wrong? Dawn? School. He's drawing a house with flowers the whole time. Dawn keeps his head busy for a few days. His mom invites me by his voice one day. Apparently she is still oblivious to our little club. Find a bottle of pills on the kitchen's table. Apparently they got the fucker on Xanax.
Nasty wound. Run into a drowner.
What the fuck do you care?
Whoa. Our arsonist a charmer, too. Come on. Smith wants to talk to you.
We get ourselves invited at the Dawn's place once more to complete the ordeal. Days pass, the Dawn is slowly returning minds. Many parents keep stuffing his face with pills.
These fours the fleas the black ones put to our throats. Am I not right?
The Dawn is obviously not taking too well to guns and trail, and the other Down is sending him to therapy.
You
Man's
don't
sister
turn
took
me in.
10 care of both Downies.
My mum died a
Dawn,
while
we
back
haven't
and I
had
sold her
one since
2
days in.
I've spent some.
A scrawny kid comes forward, advancing towards the Dawn. No, he's no good.
Magpies and dwarves might be greedy, but I'm not. Can't spy me.
Beat your fucking mug
Wisconsin
to a
Gary,
pulp.
I demand the newcomer to show his worth to be admitted into the family. By becoming the Dawn's new
Calm
bodyguard
down.
for a whole week.
Now follow me.
Which means he had to buy him Mars, upload him Dragon Ball related stuff, and overall please the Dawn's demands for material goods. The Dawn is now back in full force, jacked up with vitamin B, Linkin Park songs, and hatred. Parents still think he is on Xanax, so they are sending him to Tard school again. Scrawny Kid is forced to go with him. Afternoon Tard wranglers arrange some kind of social game for Tards, where they have to guess a thing while blindfolded. Dawn gets a seat next to his archenemy. Wranglers want them to make peace.
Up and at him.
So the Dawn is face to face with his archenemy.
What?
Game goes well
What's
for a
going on?
while. Apparently both the
Here
Dawn
you
and
go.
his nemesis are
One
doing
village
just fine.
pyromaniac in the
It's
flesh.
always time for the Dawn to guess with a blindfold.
You!
Arch nemesis
I knew
thinks
your
it's
mum for
obviously a
years.
good idea to slap
Charged
him
her
with
nearly a
that
copper. This is how you repay me.
Not.
I've had enough.
The Dawn
Right.
flips the desk
Soldier.
before he can find enough time
Minute
to
of your
rifle
time,
charge his
please.
enemies.
No,
Gets the Wranglers on
Willis,
his ass.
I beg you.
Wranglers
I was
conference
drunk.
once more. Scrawny Kid testifies for the Dawn, saying he was provoked. The Dawn goes off unpunished once more. Scrawny Kid is made honorary made man on the spot.
Not what this is about,
School was
mate.
open once more.
This here's the
By
arsonist.
September, the Dawn,
Witcher
now with a
thing.
fresh new golden ring and some intelligence points, was a force to be reckoned with.
Sabotage.
Our little society grew to 50-plus members, all of them abiding to the rules of silence, under the ruthless fist of the Dawn. Every month we had the list, and one of the janitors was consistently on it.
Well, no.
Now it was mostly about bullying other kids until they came to the Dawn to pay him respect by kissing his ring. And we made sure they meant it. Apparently the Dawn realized that his condition came with an almost total impunity for his nefarious deeds. But now he rarely got his hands dirty, except for the aforementioned janitor. He fucking hated him, for reasons I never understood. Now there's this gypsy kid outside our school. Does the usual gypsy shit, such as begging, stealing our stuff, or scratching cars with coins when he is bored. Sometimes with a few other fellow gypsies. Usually giggles and points his brown finger at Dawn whenever he gets out of school. Dawn obviously doesn't like this, not even one bit. Since I'm his trusted consigliere, I advise him to stay calm until we can find a solution to the problem. We can't exactly risk getting the Dawn stabbed by a gypsy by taking him on directly. And besides, that's what made men are for. Now one of our oldest recruits was a blonde, stocky kid. We used to call him the Lemon. You see, the Lemon was a good guy, but he was bipolar, which means he could snap at any second and fucking murder you with the first thing he had on his hand. I knew about this, since the first time we heard about the Lemon was at a birthday party, where he had tried to stab the host with a plastic cake knife. The knife broke, so he tried to strangle his victim with his bare hands. On that one time, when he fended off 3 other older bullies with a washing pole, and beating them so hard they had to be hospitalized with 3 broken ribs and one of his front teeth gone, I had recommended him personally to the Dawn. We made sure he got welcomed by all members of the society, which in turn maybe earned the Lemon's undying and eternal loyalty, since he didn't exactly have any friends between meeting us. Now, the plan birthed by my 12-year-old mind was simple. We just needed to show up in force to the gypsy after school, be reasonable and tell him to stop. And since I was the most persuading one, it was my turn.